A couple of years ago, I invited my friend Rob and my friend Dave to sit down for some interviews. Um, Rob's a founding member of the band Train, and Dave's a founding member of the band Counting Crows. I wanted to pull these couple of clips out from those interviews. Just they're inspirational for me. Maybe they will be for you in terms of a couple of things: being persistent in achieving a goal, and also being prepared when opportunity comes. Both of them have a similar story. I just kind of focused on one aspect of that story for each one of them. At the beginning of Rob's interview, he talks about a band called Apostles. Apostles was signed in LA and had three of the eventual members of Train in it: Charlie Colleen, Jimmy Stafford, and Rob Hotchkiss. That band was looking great until, as you'll hear, it wasn't. One of the obstacles on the way to Rob's success. Dave's story is a little different, but in this case, I really think it has to do with being prepared. That tape that he talks about in his interview, that was a tape that he produced in his studio. It was so good, it went around Hollywood like a gunshot, and some of the offers they got were to just put that tape out as a record. That's how good it was. So those are thoughts. We can all be more persistent in achieving our goals, not allowing obstacles to get in our way, and we can all think about being prepared. Opportunity will come. Anyway, I hope you enjoy these, and let me know if you want to see more.
Here's Train.
Charlie Cullen, Rob Hotchkiss, Pat Monahan, Jim Stafford, Drops of Jupiter by Train.
Those were the days where you have to get signed, because studios were $1 million ventures that somebody had to, you can afford it, basically. You had to get signed. So we worked and didn't get signed and didn't get signed and didn't get signed. Then finally we did with was called Victory Records, which was an affiliate of Matsushita in Japan. Us, the revised version of Bad Company, David Bowie's Tin Machine, Cry Charity, so a couple of local bands. But Apostles got signed, and we were, if we believed what we were being told, we were a week away from a UK tour before the label folded. So,
How'd that feel?
Felt shitty. Yeah. And then, luckily it all worked out in the end, but,
Thanks for the rich description of how you feel.
yeah. Yeah, you get that close, and sure, I think I needed to get out of LA after that. I had a son, and then I had two kids, so a year and a half apart. And I remember one time telling Ryan when he was 2 years old that he had to duck because there were gunshots, because he was over by the window. And that was just like the last straw. I remember a car coming back from a show one night. There was a car on fire rolling down our street. We lived in Silver Lake back before it was cool. It was gnarly.
I know, I lived a block from you.
Yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah. It was basically East Hollywood. It was, any way you put it, East Hollywood sounds good too. These are scary places, gangs. So I didn't want to live. I just didn't want to keep, it was like we were paying dues just to live, So I didn't want to keep struggling that way. And I had met Pat, had seen him sing with his band. And if I was going to start another band, it was going to be away from LA, also for the reason of getting away from the industry. People moved to LA to be part of the music industry. For me, we had done well enough that people knew who we were. And I knew if I started something else, they would see it too early. So I wanted to go develop something. And like I said, just play parties and play open mics and 2 a.m. shows and be able to play in front of nobody and not worry about it.
How old were you then?
I was in my 30s. I was 30. If I had 2 kids, I was 33 or 34.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, that's old when your parents have been telling you you're not going to make it. And I'm, we're living for, $500 a month in an apartment that's behind the loading dock of a Lucky store, and you're smelling the diesel. That's all you can afford. But we weren't in LA, and I was actually alone at first. Pat had moved back to Pennsylvania. So it's just me. I mean, there was a demo tape. I think we may have had our lawyer before Pat even got there. So it's me doing all that stuff. I mean, founding member, yes. I mean, I started Train, but without Pat, obviously it wouldn't have happened. But I did a lot of footwork before he even moved back.
But including the name.
Yeah, the name, yeah.
And this is their debut album here. It's entitled August and Everything After. And I'm telling you something, if you don't have a copy of this, there's something wrong with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a great new band, Counting Crows.
Did I ever tell you the story about getting discovered? Do you want to hear it?
I do.
Nothing to do with
Very
it.
much.
Well, so this was kind of the end of the period where we didn't believe in ourselves. We just liked it, Like the band broke up, and Adam started the Himalayans, which is the band that wrote Round Here, and he and I, we stayed friends. We were really into basketball and stuff. We'd go to games together. We never stopped being friends, but we started doing open mics together. And it went really well. I mean, we were doing these open mics, and we were playing Round Here and Mr. Jones and Rain King in open mics, right? And people were like, huh? But, we were just kind of rough and tumble. I was playing guitar, and he just stood there and sang. But it was really fun. And so we were having success, and people were liking us. So we just kind of put a band back together. But Adam stayed in the Himalayas. And so that band was playing at some just shitty bar in San Francisco. I think it might have been an actual, I don't know if it was an open mic or a set. I think we got a set, we played 40 minutes or something. But this guy came up to me after the show and said, hey, my brother-in-law, I think, works for Virgin. I think it was Virgin. And do you have a demo tape? Could I give him the tape? And I was like, well, we do. And it was actually a tape. It was a cassette tape. I'm like, here. Fully thinking I'll never hear from this guy again. He may have been totally full of shit. I mean, we didn't believe in ourselves. I'm not thinking like this guy's going to call and want to fly us to LA, which he did, right? So okay, I'm going to ramble here because there's actually some kind of, I think, slightly funny discovery kind of bits of this. So this guy calls us and we're like, holy shit, we're going to LA. And one of Adam's best friend, dad was a lawyer up in the Bay Area. And his firm had a sister firm in LA, which was the music business side. And this dad had always said to Adam, hey, if you ever get some kind of success, I can get you connected to another lawyer in LA, a music business lawyer, if you ever need one. So we got the EMI, it was EMI, wanting to fly us down. So we call this, Adam calls his friend's dad, and he calls up a lawyer named Alan Leonard in LA, and Alan tells the story about, yeah, hi, this is Alan. Hey, this is Bill Smith. He doesn't know him, right? They're just in these two huge firms. And he's like, look, my son's friend is in a band. Alan's just like, oh, fuck. Uh-huh. You want to send me a tape? Okay. Sure. Great. Okay. Thanks. Alan put on the tape, and I think Rain King was the first song. And he got 20 seconds into it, and he hit stop, and he called us. He's just like, okay, what do we got to do here? Once Alan got involved, he saw it right off the bat. He really got it, and he hooked us up with our manager, and then the three of them, it was a management team, and they shopped it. And then all of a sudden it was like everyone just wanted meetings, and everybody said yeah.